Hi, my name is Ed. I'm a math tutor. Some of my students call me Mr. Ed. In this video, I'm going to show you how to teach young kids to learn the concepts of subtraction and to learn to subtract single-digit numbers in their head. If you like this and my other videos, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe. Feel free to put in the comments if you have any questions or suggestions. The goal is to teach students the concepts of subtraction and teach them how to subtract a single-digit number in their head. The methods I selected for single-digit subtraction was based on these criteria. There is a separate YouTube video that goes more into these criteria. You can check it out if you are interested. The methods I selected are 10 frames and number bonds. I'm deferring the discussions on why I picked these and not others in Discord channels that I have set up for patrons who are interested. I also listed the progression that I use to make it easier for students to learn this in small logical steps. So, what is subtraction? Subtraction is the process of taking away some quantity from another quantity to obtain the difference. Let's say we start with 5 fingers. If we take away 3 fingers from that, we will have 2 fingers left. Students are ready to begin learning subtraction as soon as they can count backwards from 10 and recognize how many fingers in 2 hands quickly. We start with subtracting from a number up to 5. To start teaching the concept of subtraction, it is best not to use numbers. Using physical objects is preferred, and our hands are with us all the time, so why not use them? When we are subtracting from a number up to 5, it is okay to count with fingers when starting out. Eventually, students will not need to do that. In this example, we start with one hand with 5 fingers. Then we remove one finger at a time as we count. Since we want to take away 3 fingers, we will count up from 1 to 3 as we remove the 3 fingers. The number of fingers left on the hand will be the answer, which is 2. 10 frame is a very effective tool to teach math concepts. It is easy for students to visualize and lead to mental math later. In this example, we start with 5 dots and we want to take away 3 dots. To progress to the next level of difficulty, we remove all 3 dots at the same time instead of counting up one at a time as we remove each dot. The number of dots left on the 10 frame is the answer, which is 2. Once students understand the concept how to subtract using fingers and 10 frames, we can use playing cards to continue with the progression. With playing cards, we are introducing numbers into the subtraction. I like using playing cards because it has both numbers in the 2 corners as well as objects in the middle for visualization and counting. Using the same example as before, we can mentally remove 3 of the symbols from the card so there is 2 left. A quick review of what is a number bond. Number bonds allow students to split numbers in useful ways from a whole number into component parts. It is a very important math concept to foster number sense in students, and later become an essential mental problem-solving strategy. Before we continue the progression to subtract from bigger numbers, students need to learn these number bonds with 5 as one of the parts. Students also need to recognize quickly the total number of fingers in both hands when one hand has all 5 fingers and the other hand has 1 to 4 fingers. Since we are subtracting from a number between 6 and 10, we need to use both hands to represent the number. In this example, the number is 9. We will have one hand with 5 fingers and the other hand with 4 fingers to make 9. We want to subtract 2, so we take away 2 fingers. We will count up from 1 to 2 as we remove the 2 fingers. We always remove fingers from the hand that does not have 5 fingers first. If it is not enough, then we will remove fingers from the hand with 5 fingers. The number of fingers left on the 2 hands will be the answer, which is 7. Next, we use 10 frame. We start with 9 dots and we want to take away 2 dots. To progress to the next level of difficulty, we remove all 2 dots at the same time instead of counting up one at a time as we remove each dot. We should remove these 2 dots first, so it's easier to see what is left. The number of dots left on the 10 frame is 5 and 2, which is the answer 7. Next, we use playing cards to introduce the numbers. Using the same example as before, we can mentally remove 2 symbols from the 9 of diamonds, and there is 7 left. Since we are subtracting from a number between 6 and 10, we need to use both hands to represent the number. In this example, the number is 9. We will have one hand with 5 fingers and the other hand with 4 fingers to make 9. We want to subtract 6, so we take away 6 fingers. From number bonds, we know 6 is made up of 5 and 1. The best way to remove the 6 fingers is to remove the 5 fingers in the hand that has 5 fingers and 1 finger in the hand that has 4 fingers. The number of fingers left on the 2 hands will be the answer, which is 3. Next, we use 10 frame. We start with 9 dots and we want to take away 6 dots. To progress to the next level of difficulty, we do not count up one at a time as we remove each dot. We will remove these 6 dots, the 5 dots from the top row and 1 dot from the bottom row. The number of dots left on the 10 frame is the answer, 3. Next, we use playing cards to introduce the numbers. Using the same example as before, we can mentally remove 6 symbols from the 9 of diamond, and there is 3 left. Finally, we will use numbers only in subtraction. If students have enough practice with fingers, 10 frames, and playing cards, they will be able to visualize this in their head and get their answer quickly. We start with subtraction of single-digit number from two-digit number between 11 and 19 without borrowing. We have to explain to students how to line up the numbers so that the ones place of the number on top, which is 6 in this example, is directly over the ones place of the number below it, which is 2 in this example. Once the ones place is lined up correctly, then all the other number places will be lined up correctly also. In this case, since there is no borrowing, 6 minus 2 is 4, and 1 minus nothing is still 1, so the answer is 14. Next is subtraction of single-digit number from a number between 11 and 19 with borrowing. In this problem, we subtract 9 from 16. Students usually have difficulties in this type of subtractions until they get a lot of practice. To make it easier and be able to get the answer quickly, we can turn it into an addition problem. We separate 16 into 10 plus 6. We will first do 10 minus 9, which is 1, and then we add the 6 to it, and the answer is 7. Students should know very well what number goes with 9 to make 10 if they play the memory game and the magic trick game a lot. These games are described in separate YouTube videos. So when they see 9, they should immediately think of 1. Adding 2 single-digit numbers should be much easier than subtracting from a number between 11 and 19. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe.